Aries, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot readings from the heart. So we're going to do your week ahead reading for you, the 7th through to the 13th of October 2019. We start with the weekly check-in, then we have a look. Just going to push my iPad back a little bit here. Then we're going to get on with your work and your love reading. Okay, bear with me while I shuffle. Okay, Aries, you're reading. Who are you this week? You are the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is standing in your power. This is the card that says, even though we're facing challenges, it's about rising above it with the Aries energy. All these 6 wands down here. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. All these 6 wands down here are, it depends with the 7 of Wands, but for me, this is about taking charge. Okay, this is standing against your detractors. This is standing against those who challenge you. This is standing against those who wave their finger. That's what the 7 of Wands is. So I just see you guys as kind of, and it's nice because with this 7 of Wands, sometimes you look at the grounding. So sometimes with the 7 of Wands, or to be honest with you, any card, to be perfectly honest with you, Aries, the good thing to do is to look at what is the ground that this person's standing on. Well, this person is standing on very solid ground. His feet are very solid. It's sometimes the grounding underneath the 7 of Wands can be slightly slanted, suggesting that the person isn't standing on solid ground, or suggesting that even though they're not on solid ground, they're still holding their own. But you're very much on solid ground here. So I just get the impression that you're in a really strong position this week. You're taking charge. And I do feel that you've got some detractors this week. But let's have a look at what you're standing charge of against. Well, the situation is all about the 9 of Coins. So the 9 of Coins can be money. And this is, when you get a 7 of Wands as well, I always look at the 6 wands here. So if this is about you guys taking back your power, I just think that this is you guys taking back your power, to be honest. Let's forget about the 6 wands, actually. Let's say you're taking back your power. It might be concerning something to do with property, work, or money, because you've got the 9 of Coins showing there. What is your goal for the week? Your goal for the week the 5 of Coins. That's really weird. Why would your 5 of Coins be the goal? I think that as a goal, the 5 of Coins would be to shut someone out. Because the 5 of Coins is one of those funny little cards you get that it can be, it can be a card about financial lack. It can be about poverty. It can be about serious illnesses. Really bad illnesses suggests the 5 of Coins energy. It can be about depression. It can be about loss. It's not a great card. I'll admit it. It's not a nice card. It's not definitely one of my favourite cards. But also the 5 of Coins can be support. Now on this card, we're not getting the 2 people walking along together, Aries. So usually on the 5 of Coins, you've got one person in front, one behind, and it usually is the person in front that's supporting the person behind. So sometimes when you get a 5 of Coins, it can be to support another individual in their time of need, and it could be for some of you guys to get some form of support in your time of need, because it might be that you are involved in a battle, because the 7 of Wands is all about being involved in a battle, and it could be concerning property or money that you are owed, because 9 of Coins is all about gaining money. So some of you guys might be in a battle over gaining some money here, or over property, or over work, or something like that. And it might be that your goal for the week is with the 5 of Coins energy. It might, you can see on this card here, Aries, money is literally falling through this person's hands. It's just falling through this person's hands. They're actually not catching it, suggesting that they're not getting money or they're losing money. But your goal would not be to lose money. That's the thing. What is your goal, though, with the 5 of Coins? Is it to get some form of financial aid, financial support, something like that? We'll find out in a moment. We'll go back to that one, because that can, when you get a card, it's called a contra card. It goes against everything. It's in a very hopeful position as a goal. But the 5 of Coins yet here can be a fairly negative. It's not always negative. It depends on how you read it. But I read I read the meanings as well as my own intuition, as well as, what I see in the cards, and definitely those pictures, illustrations I will read on a card. And, excuse me, I do apologise. And that 5 of Coins can definitely indicate financial loss. Can you see how the money is falling through his hands? But that wouldn't be a goal, so we'll find out what that is in a moment. And again, I can't see any. There's no one on this card. It's not showing 2 people. It's just showing a hand with money falling through it. So that's why it's kind of like, oh, what's going on there then? Why would that be a goal? Now Nobody's goal is to lose money, not unless your goal is to give money away or something like that. But I can't think it would be that if you're trying to take charge, or if you're involved in a battle over money or property or something. Why would you want to give money away? Not unless you maybe want to pay someone off. Let's have a look at what the obstacle you need to overcome is. Oh, the Eight of Swords. I do feel your hands are tied though. I think that your hands are tied with that Eight of Swords. Because the Eight of Swords does indicate, you know, mental traps, mental entrapment. It represents worries. It represents frustration. It represents anxiety. This card is all about mental fear and all of those things, frustration and, anxiety and fear. But this is also the card about having your hands tied. It's a card where it does indicate powerlessness. I do think that your hands are tied in a situation here. I'm probably going to clarify what it means by that Five of Coins, actually. What could you be achieving by the end of the week, though? You could be achieving finally seeing a breakthrough, moving on from that. You've got that Eight of Swords indicating that your hands are tied. Eight of Swords energy. The obstacle might be that you're a little bit powerless to change the situation here, but the Six of Swords by the end of the week could indicate finally we've got some traction here, moving on from that situation, which is quite nice. I'm glad that we saw that card. Or it might be someone's coming to help. Look at the Six of Swords. Look how it moves towards the Eight of Swords. That to me looks like somebody's coming in to rescue you. So it could be that if you are feeling powerless or your hands are tied, maybe someone's coming in with that Six of Swords to rescue you from the situation here. I feel that your goal, to be honest with you, is to pay some money out with that Five of Coins. I know that's why I think the obstacle that you need to overcome is that your hands are tied, and some of you guys might be feeling powerless because you might say, you know what, my goal this week is just to pay the money, even if I leave myself broke. It looks like it's a money thing to me. I'll just do it. My goal is just to, it just looks like you want to get something off your hands, because if you look at the coins in this guy's hands, they're falling out of his hand, so it almost looks like you just want to get something off your hands. Even if it means that you're going to be broke at the end of it, Aries, okay? I just want to get something done and dusted because my obstacle is that my hands are tied. It's almost like you've got no choice. There's nothing that you can particularly do about the situation. So I might as well just pay the money out, or I might as well just give up what I've got even if it leaves me broke. What is it you need to avoid? The Five of Cups. I think getting depressed about it. I think regret and I think sorrow. I just feel that you need to, with this Five of Cups, you need to avoid getting really down and depressed about the situation. What is it you need to, what is it that you need to embrace? The Two of Swords. So I feel that you need to embrace other ideas. You need to open your mind with the Two of Swords energy showing here. But also for me, the Two of Swords is kind of to ignore and to, because the Two of Swords is, I mean, she's got her back turned. But usually if you get the Two of Swords, usually on a card it's facing you, and there's usually a blindfold on, and the hand, the swords are across the heart. But often what I found with the Two of Swords is it often represents when you don't see something. So you might be ignoring something. You'll close your heart to something. I feel that it's saying that you shouldn't, Aries, you need to avoid getting really down and depressed, and you've really just got to try and forget the situation with the Two of Swords. It's almost like you've got to try and ignore the situation. You've got to close your heart to it. You've just got to become... And also the Two of Swords is about not investing emotionally, because it's a sword energy. It's air. So this is about being completely kind of diplomatic and logical and rational about a situation here. And when you close your heart with the Two of Swords, you're not exactly getting emotional, are you, like a Five of Cups? So you need to kind of avoid getting, too emotional about the situation. And with the Two of Swords energy, I think that you need to really just focus on this in a very kind of logical way with that Two of Swords. Okay, you need to close off yourself emotionally to the situation and focus on it in a very rational and logical way with the Two of Swords energy. You may need to embrace other ideas as well for some reason with the Two of Swords energy. If you need help and support, where can you go? Oh, great. You can go to the Four of Cups. I think that you should go to someone who is this Four of Cups? Because Four of Cups shows somebody who's not happy, somebody who's dissatisfied. Sometimes the Four of Cups is somebody who wants more, somebody who's not willing to take a situation as it is. Because the Four of Cups is the card about the grass being greener on the other side. Okay. I just feel that you need to go to... I mean, it depends, because you can explain the cards in all sorts of ways. And I would suggest that when you do tarot, just try and use your intuition a little bit with the cards. is important, because, you know, we could go along with the general meaning, but it really wouldn't make any sense to go to someone who would be a Four of Cups, who would be miserable and, you know, and quite distant and detached and unhappy and dissatisfied. It wouldn't make any sense to go to someone like that, Aries. So this is someone to me who, this person's quite selective though. When you get the Four of Cups, it's not just about grasping on the green on the other side, unhappy, bored, all of that stuff. The Four of Cups is also about being selective. He doesn't take the one cup because there are 3 cups underneath. He's got a choice. Okay. I feel that you should go to someone who can help you see, because it almost feels like to me with the Two of Swords, you need to embrace that. It almost feels like you need to embrace the ability to open your mind, because the Two of Swords also means to have an open mind. So maybe you need to embrace having an open mind on the situation and go to someone with the Four of Cups energy who can probably propose a few options to you, because cups are also options. So this is someone who could probably propose maybe a few options to you. That's what I'm getting anyway, at least from that reading. We're going to hone down on the cards now, Aries, and have a look at the spread. Bear with me. Okay, Aries, cards are down. Let's have a look at your spread. So you guys are the Seven of Wands. I definitely feel that you want to take charge this week. You're showing as being, and you're on, you know, firm footing here with that Seven of Swords. Can you see how you're on firm grounding? It almost feels as well that you're kind of facing a little bit of a battle, to be honest with you, for some of you Aries, because the Seven of Wands is also facing a battle. And I do feel that you're facing a battle here. You're standing strong, but you are nevertheless facing a battle with that Seven of Wands. I think it's over money. Probably it is over some form of financial issue with the Nine of Coins energy. Now, the Nine of Coins in terms of your finances can be your property, it can be your assets. I think there's a battle over assets or property or something that you own. Nine of Coins energy. I think that your goal is to pay something here. I just get the impression your goal is to pay out your last penny. It just feels like, because you want, and it also, the Seven of Wands is to protect. So some of you guys with that Seven of Wands, it could be that you're protecting your assets, or you're protecting your home or your property or your possessions. Because the Nine of Coins, this isn't about you gaining money. This is about you protecting what you already have with that Nine of Coins energy, Aries, okay? Even if it means that you have to pay your last penny to do that. So, for example, I'm not saying, I mean, a lot of people, this won't get many thumbs up. My readings never do, because they're really specific, which is absolutely fine. But I just feel that you want to protect your home, or you want to protect your assets, or you want to protect something that you've worked hard for. Because the Nine of Coins talks about financial, material reward for effort. So this is about you protecting what you already have, what you've worked so hard for. You know, for your property and your possessions and all of those things. It just feels like it's something debt related here. And it feels like you, in order to, because your goal is to put yourself probably, is it in the red? Is that right? In the red? Because I think, I can never work out which one it is, whether you're in the red or the black. I think that if you're in the black, is it good if you're in the black? Or is it bad if you're in the red? I can't remember. But I just feel that either one of those, it's your goal that even if it puts you in a really bad position financially, it's almost like your goal is to pay out the last bit of money you have to protect your assets, to protect your home, to protect your property, to protect what you've worked for a long time, Aries, okay? Now, the obstacle you need to overcome is that your hands are tied. You don't have a choice on this, but I think with the Eight of Swords energy. I'm sorry to say, but I think the obstacle is that there is an element of being powerless in this situation. So for some of you Aries, you're going to have to pay this money. If you want to, you know, for some of you guys, it will be to keep the water on or to keep the electricity on with the Nine, because that's your property as well. And it's the things that go into make, because the Nine of Coins is not just about money, but it's about property, the things that you own, you know, your clothes, the electricity, the water, you know, everything. This is a card about luxury. So this is all about luxury when you get the Nine of Coins. So this is all about trying to protect, because the Seven of Wands is also a card about trying to... This card has so many meanings, so it's unbelievable. I think this is one of the cards in the tarot that has one of the most, you know, has several meanings. I mean, there's so many meanings, right from being in demand, sexually, romantically with the Seven of Wands energy, being an individual with the Seven of Wands, having lots of haters with the Seven of Wands, protecting, you know, your territory with the Seven of Wands, being in charge of others with the Seven of Wands, being a narcissist or being an arrogant is the Seven of Wands, being rejected is the Seven of Wands, failure is the Seven of Wands, no is the there's so many meanings, it's unbelievable. So you've got to think about, well, what does it look like? To me, this looks like the protection side of the Seven of Wands, Aries, protecting your property, protecting your assets, because the Nine of Coins is, again, one of those cards that has a few meanings to it, and one of the meanings with the Nine of Coins is luxury. So this is all of the things that make your living environment really, really, you know, nice and luxurious and rich. And those things will be things like having hot water, having electricity, you know, all of the creature comforts that we take for granted in this day and age. This is what you're trying to protect, because it might be for some of you guys, if you don't pay a bill with that Five of Coins energy, you'll have your electricity turned off, or you'll have your water turned off, or you'll have your gas turned off, or something like that. So your goal is, even if it leaves you broke, which is what the Five of Coins is, it's to pay out. It's because you can see the money is falling through the hands. Can you see? Money is falling literally through the hands. So your goal is, even if it leaves me broke with no money, I've got to pay this thing off, because I've got no choice. The Eight of Swords is also a card about not having any choices sometimes. Mainly because the person doesn't see the choices, but nevertheless it's a card about just feeling completely powerful. So your goal will be, you know, even if it leaves me broke, I've got to pay this thing off, because I need to protect my home, my assets, my possessions, my electricity, my water, because the obstacle I need to overcome is actually with the Eight of Swords energy. I don't think I've got a choice here. I'm actually feeling really powerless, and I can't see how I could, because you really can't see with this card as well, I just can't see how I'm going to kind of surmount the situation here. It's almost like you feel, no, I've got to do this, because there isn't any other way around it. However, by the end of the week, you could find that the situation, there's a shift in the situation with the Six of Swords energy. You could literally find the answer, because the Six of Swords is about seeing things clearly. So you could literally be finding the answer in terms of how you, so it might not be that you have to spend this money by the end of the week. Do you know what I mean? It might not necessarily be, oh shit, I've got to pay out all of this money by the end of the week. It's not like, it might be that you find a solution. The Six of Swords is all about finding a solution. But it also might be, if you look at the Six of Swords, can you see how her hands are tied, her eyes are tied? Can you see these people coming along here? Can you see them? Where are they moving, Aries? They're moving there. They're coming to rescue her. So it might also be that you've got people who are coming towards to rescue you. In this situation, if it's a debt thing, I get the feeling it might be a money thing for some of you guys. But if it's a case of you guys saying, yeah, my intentions are to, even if it leaves me broke, to make sure I pay that bill, so I keep the water on, the electricity on, so the mortgage people don't come in and take my home, that type of thing. And it might be, well, the obstacle is I don't see any way out of it, which is what your obstacle is. You just can't see any way out of it. Well, it's either that you are going to find a solution by the end of the week, or somebody's going to help you in that solution. They're going to rescue you from this age. So in other words, they're going to open your eyes up. They're going to help you see something more clearly. Or it might literally be somebody coming in, maybe financially to help, or something like that. Avoid getting really upset and down and depressed, because that's the Five of Cups. Because the thing is, when you're in a crappy position, especially when it's financially, Aries, sometimes this doesn't help. But then, it's difficult telling people not to get upset, because emotion is emotion. And when you find yourself like this, shit, I don't know a way out. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I've got all these money problems. I've got to pay the bills. I've got to pay the mortgage. They say if I don't pay it by this week coming, they're going to, turf me and my children out. If I don't pay the rent, then I'm going to get kicked out. I don't know where we'll go, this, that, and the other. It's coming up to winter. It's cold, blah, blah, blah. All of this stuff kind of combobulates to form this Five of Cups, where we're getting really sad and really emotional and really depressed. But I think you need to avoid doing that, because you need to embrace Two of Swords energy. And what I'm going to say with this Two of Swords now is I think that you need to embrace the possible of gaining some personal insight, because the Two of Swords is all about gaining insight, okay? But also embrace looking within the self as well, because you'll probably know more than you think you know. You'll probably have more answers inside of yourself than you think you know. You probably will, but you just kind of, because you're in this area here. You say, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I'm worried, I'm confused, I'm depressed. I don't know what to do. But the universe is saying, well, but embrace, that either these people may bring you these personal insights, or this might be something you're getting for yourself with that Two of Swords, but it's all about going inward. And if you need advice and support, go to the Four of Cups. Go to someone who isn't willing to take. And I think that with this Four of Cups, can you see how the one cup is here, but the three cups are here, Aries? He's not willing to take that cup. He's not willing to take this cup only. So it's almost like the cups are the presentation of the tarot. So when a cup is, how I read the cups as well, is that when the cup is out like this, it's something that is being presented to you. It's the solution. So the fact that some of you guys are trying to protect your property, your homes, your possessions, you know, what you've worked hard for, your electricity staying on, your water staying on, you know, your way of life, your comfort, your creature comforts. And yeah, you're going to kind of say, I intend to bleed myself dry by the end of the week. You know, I intend to pay this money out, even if it leaves me broke. At least we've got a roof over our heads, or we've got the water on, or we've got food in the fridge, or whatever it is. But because the obstacle is I can't see a way out of it. I don't know what else to do with the Eight of Swords energy. I just feel powerless. I just cannot see. See, the thing is, she's got her eyes, her hands bound, and her eyes are bound too. See all these swords? I think these swords are all the options that she's got around her. These are all of the ideas, but she cannot see them because her eyes, she's blinded. She's blinded to all these ideas, and that's the obstacle you need to overcome, that you're not seeing the ideas around you. You're not seeing any of these, and there's lots of, in other words, there's lots of options around you, Aries, but you're just not seeing them. But you could be seeing them by the end of the week. That Six of Swords shows solutions and clarity, but also somebody might be coming to the rescue to help you here, to take that blindfold off. And that's why I think in this Four of Cups, this Six of Swords here, if this is a person here, if these are the people, or this is the person coming to the rescue who's going to help you see something clearly, give you a solution, go to someone who doesn't, you know, who's not looking at one solution for you. They're looking at many, because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cups, 4 solutions. Okay, we've got 8 solutions here, but you could go to someone who could provide you with probably quite a few of them, and they're not willing just to look at the one solution with you, i.e. pay the money. That, because can you see the hands? The hands are kind of like, nope, not taking that solution there. Nope. He's like, nope, hands down, not taking that solution. Because there's loads. There's a few more here that you could look at, Aries. So go to someone who could probably give you lots more information and propose a lot more, options to you. Because in the Eight of Swords, all you're thinking is that there is one solution here, and that solution is to pay this out in order to have what you have and to retain what you have. But the universe is saying, well, no, you're just not seeing that there are other options around you. You're just not seeing the other ideas presented around you. You just can't see them, and you're not willing to go out there and find them because your hands are tied. You're not even willing to go on the internet and do that because your hands are tied. So you can't type, you can't do anything. You're just not seeing anything, not even willing to look. You might be doing this for yourself by the end of the week, or somebody's coming in to take that blindfold off. And it'll be this Four of Cups person that you can go to who's saying, well, don't just look at this solution, Aries, whereby you're just going to have to deplete all your funds. Look at the other options around you. Really, really good reading. So there are options around you, Aries. You just need to look. Let's have a look at this advice. Universe Spirit, what's the advice you have for Aries on this reading? What's the advice you have for Aries? Show me. Let's have a look. In the one card, so it says the Seven of Action, which would be, oh my God, the Seven of Wands. Seven of Action in this deck, which is the Guardian Angel, Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. It's actually the Seven of Action. So you're being called upon to claim your personal power. That's you there. Feel confident as your angels will give you the strength to say no when it's the right thing to do for yourself. Your struggle may actually stem from an unresolved inner conflict, which can be the Two of Swords, but it's saying that you need to embrace, okay? To me, the Two of Swords is not just unresolved inner conflict, it's also insight, personal insight, rather than a conflict with others. So, yeah, exactly. And that's what it is as well, actually. Eight of Swords is more so, because your problem stems from an unresolved inner conflict, which is going on here with that Eight of Swords, because you can't see the opportunities around you. Everything is extraordinarily... what's the word I'm looking for? Internalized with the Eight of Swords energy. And it's saying that this struggle, and it does, it's true, the struggle is coming more from your inability to see the options and the ideas around you rather than the actual struggle itself. Because you're saying, I need to deplete my funds in order to retain my way of life. But there are other ways that you can try and resolve the situation here, but you're just not seeing it. And that's why the struggle comes from an unresolved inner conflict rather than the conflict with whoever's doing this. Okay, these 6 wands underneath you. The conflict isn't with them, it's within you. You know, there are ways that you can resolve this. You're just not looking at it, but you might have help by the end of the week. Really good reading. All right, guys, bear with me. We're going to have a look at your work reading. Okay, guys. Hi, Aries. So we've got your work reading. Let's have a look. Work. 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. Sometimes this can be a business partnership when you get the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands can also be planning. So a new plan being set into action is the 2 of Wands. And sometimes you've got a choice between 2 paths with the 2 of Wands energy. I think that there's a plan here, but I feel that there might be some delays around a new plan that's been put into action. The Hangman for me is the kind of like the delay card sometimes that shows up in a work reading. So there's slight delays, setbacks, that type of thing. So it might be that there's been a new plan of action here. You guys are ready for a new start, or there's a new plan that you're putting into place in terms of your careers. But there might be slight delays around this with the Hanged Man energy showing up. Yeah, I'm seeing slightly delays in terms of work here. 8 of Coins is work. The Magician. So the Magician in terms of work, this is about having the power to create something. Sometimes when you get the Magician, this is all about your skills and your talents and that type of thing. Sometimes this can be communication. But the 8 of Swords, you know, this 8 of Swords here, it looks to me like this plan that's kind of a little bit of a setback against a new plan to do with work. It almost looks like with this 8 of Swords energy, it almost looks like there's someone here. 8 of Swords energy in terms of work. It's a tricky one with the 8 of Swords, because sometimes when you're in a workplace, you might be feeling trapped or that type of thing with the 8 of Swords. But it almost feels like with this Magician energy, it almost feels like someone has you tied up or has you bound, or there's somebody here. It almost feels like their ideas or their actions have you bound. It's almost like this isn't anything to do with you. This is something to do with another party here concerning work, I think. This is what I'm feeling with those cards. Let's have a look here. The Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is all about your ambitions. This is all about movement when you get the 8 of Swords. Sudden changes. But I do feel there could be a sudden change around this, because the 8 of Swords is suddenly. So suddenly out of the blue, there's a sudden change. The 8 of Coins is the offer card. So an 8 of Coins in a work reading, this is usually where something is being offered or presented. So this would be the new job or the offer of the new job with the 8 of Coins energy. The Moon energy here. I get the impression that maybe within 30 days with that Moon energy, I feel that that might be a timing card here, because the moon can be 30 days. So it could be that suddenly, or you'll get some information about the job within 30 days. I'm getting information with the Knight of Swords, because knights can be messengers as well. So I think this could be a message coming in about this job within the next 30 days with the moon energy showing up here. The Devil energy. So the Devil in a work reading can mean, you know, like a troublemaker or something that is problematic with the Devil energy, or this can mean problems or ties or difficulties with the Devil energy showing up here. Oh, and the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords, the Devil is putting pressure. See, the Devil card in a reading can also be somebody who is quite burdensome. So this would be like your difficult boss, or this would be like someone who's a bit of a taskmaster with the Devil energy. I'm getting 10 of Swords energy here as well. Putting problems. There's lots of problems here. Lots of, and the 10 of Swords in a work reading can sometimes mean where somebody's overwhelmed. There's a lot of burdens here with the 10 of Swords energy. A lot of mental burdens as well. I don't really like the look of these cards. I think that you could receive some information about this job maybe within a month, within the next 30 days. But I still feel that there might be problems with that Devil energy. And the 10 of Swords speaks of like difficulties and lots of pressure and that type of thing. But I feel that there is still a lot of pressure with these types of cards. I just get the impression that for some of you guys, there's a plan of action here that are being put into hold or put on hold. There's delays or setbacks around a new job. I think with this 2 of Wands energy here, it's obviously to do with work, because you've got the work card here. it feels like this magician energy here is the devil. They feel like they're the same. And the devil and the magician are kind of the same people in a way, because they are engineers. They engineer problems. I think that these two cards, and you've got two swords showing up next to either one of them as well. 10 of Swords, and you've also got the 8 of Swords here as well. So I just get the impression that you've got somebody here who's engineering a lot of problems. A lot of problems with that 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords in terms of you getting this new particular job or this new position here that I'm showing. I mean, this might be where you're already in a job and you're going for a promotion, or you're meant to be taking on another job within the same business that you work in, that type of thing. Or maybe you've gone for a job that you were meant to start and then you can't start and there's loads of setbacks. But we'll do the reading again. I'm getting here with this 2 of Wands. To me, this looks like a new job. It looks, because this is the planning stage, but there are setbacks around this plan here in terms of work. All right, we got a magician here and this devil energy showing up here. I think that these people here, it could be one or two, it could be the same person, but I'm getting a lot of problematic energy around that magician. It looks like both people here are engineering these problems, because the 8 of Swords is also the setback card and the 10 of Swords is the problem card. So I just feel that there is a very kind of malevolent energy that is sort of engineering these setbacks and these problems here. But it could be that you get information within 1 month about this job, okay? Just know that if there's something you're meant to start and you're not starting it, it could be within a month, within 30 days that you get some information on that. But I do feel that there is someone around this career reading that is engineering these setbacks and these problems. There's somebody actually within the structure, the infrastructure of this particular job that's engineering all of these problems, which is probably why you can't start the particular role that you're looking at. Let's have a quick look at what the advice is for. And I'm using the Astral House cards, but they're from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards, okay? And we're going to look at the career card for that, okay, of these cards. So let's have a look. We're going to get our Tea Leaf Fortune cards out, and let's have a look at these. So let's have a look. In 3 cards, what is the advice you have for career for Aries? What's the advice you have for career for Aries? So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So let's have a look. So around career, we've got the Sun. So there's going to be happiness and well-being around career. All right, and then you've got the Fire card. So there's strong emotion and passionate love or hate concerning your work, and also the Ant as well, which says work, achievement, and success. Which is, I mean, they're nice energies. So really it's saying that even though there's strong emotion, passionate love and hate around your career, there's going to be happiness and well-being, and also work, achievement, success. All right. So yeah, I mean, to me, I don't really like sword cards. Some sword cards in work. Some sword cards aren't so bad. But cards like the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, in any reading really, they don't really fare very well, because the 8 of Swords can be a setback. And I just feel that the Magician and the Devil, because both of these cards for me represent engineers, people who engineer setbacks, 8 of Swords and problems, 10 of Swords energy here. It looks like these people here in these 4 cards are engineering the setback and the problems, which is why this new career path for some of you guys, or this new career venture with the 2 of Wands, is being delayed here, okay, around the work. So, but it could be that you get some information about this job within the next 30 days, I think, showing up here. All right, bear with me. We're going to have a quick look at your love reading as well. Oh, before I start that, actually, let's have a look at wealth. I should keep remembering that I need to do wealth in with the career reading. What do you see for money for Aries this week? What do you see coming in for money for Aries? So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Let's have a look at what the money situation is. So for wealth, what we've got is scales. So keep your life in balance. So maybe keep your finances in balance if you can. We've got the ear. There's going to be some good news coming in terms of finances. And also the egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. So it's good for money. Let's read this again. Keep your finances in balance, but there'll be good news, and success will be assured with good plans and hard work. All right. Let's quickly have a look at your. Let's quickly have a look then, guys, at your love reading. Just bear with me. All right, Aries, for love, what are we getting here? We are getting the Six of Coins. The Six of Coins for me is give and take, and especially on this version from the Dark Mansion Tarot, the Six of Coins for me is definitely the give and take card, because there aren't any other people in the card on the card, and I have to read via the pictures as well. So give and take. This is a fair, balanced relationship with the Six of Coins energy. Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords for me, Ace of Swords is power. Ace of Swords is clarity. Ace of Swords is truth. Communication brings strength. Okay. I feel that communication brings strength within your relationship this week. Okay. And I think that this is fair. Six of Coins is all about give and take in communication brings strength. So I feel that give and take in communication with the Ace of Swords brings strength this week for some of you guys in a relationship. And happiness with the Sun energy, and possibly new beginnings as well with the Sun energy showing up here. But the Eight of Swords, often when I've seen the Eight of Swords with the Sun, somebody's frustrated by the Sun. Something that is too warm or something that is too burning. I just get the impression that with this Six of Coins, give and take will bring, with the Ace of Swords energy, give and take, Ace of Swords energy, communication. So give and take, Ace of Swords, Six of Coins in communication will bring strength. But the Sun is burning. The Sun is burning, because when you get the Eight of Swords, that Eight of Swords can show somebody who feels very frustrated. All right. And they're frustrated by the Sun. Okay, it almost feels like this is a little bit too much for one of you guys. I think that give and take in communication will be, so this is kind of like listening to each other's argument within the relationship. So, you know, this is like a fair hearing, because the Ace of Swords is hearing its communication, and this is fair. So a fair hearing will bring strength in the relationship. So it's almost like a fair hearing, you know, fair communication, listening to both sides of the story from each other. I think this is for you guys in a relationship, Aries. Listening to one another's argument in a relationship will bring strength. But one of you is feeling a little bit frustrated by the Sun. And the Sun is too much. It's too much heat. Too much. It's almost like one of you is saying too much. One of you is coming up. Because the Sun is almost like too much clarity. There's a lot of clarity when the Sun shows up here. And with the Sun, it can be like we're getting everything out in the open. So there's a lot of transparency here. So it almost feels to me like one of you is saying too much with the Sun energy, and the other is feeling like kind of like a little bit kind of hemmed in, a little bit suffocated by that. So even though I feel that within love, give and take, being honest and having a fair, balanced kind of communicative you know, interlude with the partner this week, kind of, you know, listening to each other's argument could bring a source of strength to the relationship this week, Aries. I do feel that one of you with this Eight of Swords energy may be feeling a little bit frustrated or hemmed in by the other one's transparency. One of you, I feel, is going to say a little bit too much, and the other one is going to make the other one feel quite uncomfortable. Let's have a look at the next one. So Eight of Coins is all about working hard on a relationship, putting the effort in to a relationship here. One of you doesn't want to put the effort in. Four of Coins. So the Four of Coins indicates somebody who's quite selfish, somebody who's reluctant. And I feel that the person who's kind of getting a little bit uncomfortable about the home truths, because what I'm seeing with the Sun energy is that there's a lot of home truths that are being said in this relationship, okay? And with the Eight of Swords, it's making one of you quite uncomfortable. You might be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but one of you is feeling very uncomfortable at the home truths that the other one is saying, because one of you is reluctant to put that much work into the relationship here. Let's have a look. Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is all about flirtatiousness and invitations and you know, romantic interest with the Page of Cups energy showing up here. But you've got the Knight of Swords here. This person is challenging this person, and it keeps showing, it's showing up as a sword energy again as well. So you might be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, possibly a Gemini with that Knight of Swords. I think that what you offer or what you are giving is being challenged by this person with the Knight of Swords energy showing up here. The Chariot. I think there's a forceful energy here with that Chariot energy. The Knight of Swords and that Chariot. This looks like somebody who is challenging with great force, because the Chariot is all about forcefulness, and the Knight of Swords is all about, when you get it in a love reading, it can mean many things with the Knight of Swords, but with the Knight, where I'm getting from this reading is, there's a kind action being presented here. all right? But this person is coming forward with such force against this. It almost feels like somebody is challenging with both the Knight of Swords and the Chariot energy, the kindness that this comes with. So what I'm getting with your love reading this week, Aries, is this. I feel that you're going to have kind of this, because the Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles is an interaction, it's a transaction, and this is communication, all right? So there's a kind of like an interaction happening here, a transaction. It's a fair and balanced communication that you're having with the partner. And I feel that it could bring some form of strength to the relationship, Aries. But I do feel that one of you is going to be feeling quite frustrated with all of the home truth that are being said to them. So even though we're getting things out in the open in the relationship this week, the communication is designed to be fair, where both sides of the argument are heard. Your side of the argument, their side of the argument in this relationship. I mean, what you might be talking about is how this person seems to be extraordinarily resistant to work on the relationship. You know, you might be, because I'm seeing like a fair transaction, a fair kind of communication here. You know, a balanced interaction, both sides of the story being talked about someone's reluctance to possibly work on that relationship there. And it's being said with kindness, because the Ace of Swords is the communication. So I feel that whatever is being said here is being said with kindness. Okay, but I feel that one of you is being extraordinarily sensitive to this, and you're reacting with that Knight of Swords and the Chariot energy in an aggressive sense. So one of you is probably reacting more aggressively to what the other one is saying, because this is meant to be fair, balanced interaction, communication. Possibly one of you being resistant to work on the relationship. And it's bringing, I think with the Strength energy, I think it's bringing, more than anything, bringing strength. Because I don't think it is actually bringing strength. I think with the Strength energy, it's bringing more of an understanding. The bottom line is it's bringing an understanding to the relationship from what you want from the relationship and from where they are in the relationship. But whatever it is that you are saying here with the Ace of Swords in kindness with the Page of Cups, it's not being received very well, because the other person is resisting. The other person is being very, very frustrated at how open you are being, how much you are saying, how transparent. So it's everything. You're just coming out with everything to this individual. You know, you're just coming out with everything. You're laying it all on the line, and this person doesn't like it. And so your communication that's designed to be kind, Page of Cups, and fair with the Six of Coins energy about this situation here, where this other partner is not reacting. They're not kind of reciprocating what you are giving, because this is also giving a non-reciprocation. So also, you know, the communication could be, well, I'm giving, but you're not necessarily reciprocating here. And this person saying, okay, fair enough, I understand this. And it's designed to kind of bring an understanding with the Strength energy here. Okay, because you've got two opposing forces here, the Lady and the Lion. Okay, so we've got two opposing forces here working together to try and understand each other's point of view in these two cards here. But whatever you're saying, I think here, Aries, or it could be the other way around. Whatever is being said is the truth. It's all coming out with the Sun energy. But somebody's very frustrated by that. Somebody doesn't necessarily want to listen to the truth, because the Age of Swords doesn't really want to listen. Doesn't really want to listen to the truth. And so the kindness, the words of kindness that you are giving, because I don't think you're doing it from this end here. I'm not seeing any aggressiveness here. But somebody, I think, is reacting to this in a very forceful and with a Chariot, and very, very forceful and very aggressive manner. So be careful of that, because I feel that you should be able to speak your truth this week. I really do. And I think that some of you guys are speaking your truth to a partner here. But I just get the impression that the partner isn't understanding, and they're getting very, very sensitive and very annoyed by the truths that are coming out here. All right. And they're reacting probably in a very forceful and challenging way against your very kind and very kind of thoughtfully and very kindly meant, you know, words and communication towards them. They're not seeing it as kindness. They're seeing it as you attacking them. But they're on the attack, if you see here. Because the Knight of Swords is on the attack against that Page of Cups. He's rushing straight towards it. But that Page of Cups, the Ace of Swords and the Page of Cups, is kind communication. You're communicating. This might be you. If it's you, you're communicating in a really kind way with this partner. But they're not seeing it like that. Okay, because they can't see with the Eight of Swords. The eyes are covered, the ears are covered. So they're not hearing and they're not seeing the kindness in what you're saying here, because everything that you're saying to them is the truth. and they don't want to know it with the Eight of Swords. So therefore they're coming back at you with a very forceful and aggressive manner, because they do not want to put the work in. So just be careful of that one with this person if that resonates with you. Let's have a look at the love, and what's the advice for love. What's the advice you have for Aries and love this week, please, universe? What's the advice you have for Aries and love this week, please? So the advice is, let's get 3 cards out. 1, 2, and we'll get a third one. 3. Okay. So the advice is wind chimes for love. So there will be peace and harmony, which is nice. Dog far away, but a distant friend. So a distant friend is thinking of you though. And club. Someone, it will try to make you do something against your will. Maybe it's this person here. All right. So we've got someone's going to try and make you do something against your will in terms of a relationship. Okay. But you also have a distant friend who is thinking of you in love, and also there will be peace and harmony in love. Okay, that's your reading, my darlings, for the week. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the comment section below or the end screen, and have a good week. Take care. Bye.